My name is Miranda Morgan, and this is my teaching metaphor for Education 300 at BYU, Idaho. And today I have chosen to use as my prototype the violin. Now I think teaching is a lot like a violin. It's a lot like playing a violin. The student being the violin and the teacher being the person who's playing it. Now, when a child is born, a lot of times I think that their parents are their first caretaker and they're the first person that plays the violin. And they help them get going on life and they teach them. And then as the child gets older, they start to be taught by other people. Which include teachers and include church leaders. And so the teacher helps to mold the child into who they end up being academically. And I know that I can do this as a teacher. And as a student learns, there becomes music and it's beautiful. And it resonates within them and they learn how to learn. A teacher can teach them that. And so as they go throughout life, their song matures and they eventually become the person that's playing the violin. And so that's my teaching metaphor. Now I have a few concepts to share with you. Now the shoulder rest in the violin, can count as scaffolding. The shoulder rest helps to hold the violin up while the child is playing so that they don't have to focus on holding it. They can just focus on the fingerings and learning how to play that difficult instrument. And then, let's see, the pegs these are the pegs right here. They're the misconceptions, they can be called, because if you turn them slightly, the sound will be totally off and the tuning will be totally off. And so you turn it slightly, and even though it's just slight, they can end up a lot further off than we would like them to. The fine tuners, they are right here. They represent overgeneralizations and undergeneralizations. So you can turn them here and there, and they'll make little differences in the pitch. Let's see. The strings on the violin are the cognitive domain, and that it takes place directly in the thinking process. That's what I related it to, because it's a pretty direct part of the violin. You can't play it without the strings. The fingerboard, also right here, is the sensory register, and that input from the senses are recorded for a short amount of time, and they're recorded so short that you're able to play the note and then it's gone. And so that's why I related that there. And then the mute versus no mute makes a difference in the sound. So I related that to physical climate. It makes a difference in the feeling or tone of the sound of the instrument. The texture of the instrument, every texture is different. This one's pretty smooth and shiny. And so I related that to individual physical state. And that's, every person has a way to regulate the way they learn, and you have to change it or you'll be ineffective. So it's kind of just a part of who you are, and so it's a part of how the violin is crafted. The bow I said is extrinsic motivation, and it's an outward force that motivates you. And so the violin, of course, you need to move that bow for there to be any sound. The rosin, I said, was contagious behavior, because I remember back in elementary school, everyone would start putting on their rosin, and then like when you saw one person do it, then everybody else did it. And also it gets all over the bow so that you're able to play and make it sound good. The scroll of the violin, which is right here, I said that's the schema, because the schema is connections in the brain, and the scroll kind of holds the instrument together and holds all the strings in place. The case, as said, the case versus being out of the case, it's physical arrangement, and that relates to how the classroom is organized and how it can affect the way students learn. And so a case keeps the violin safe and at one temperature, but even if it's left in a hot car, it can change. It can make it go way out of tune. And if it's left in a cold car, it can make it go out of tune, even if it's in its case. So you want to keep it in a neutral temperature, and the case helps to do that. And then vibrato. Here's a picture of somebody doing their vibrato. It's a stimulus or energy patterns which are registered by the senses. And so you do your finger and a little, forward to backward motion, and it stimulates it and makes a beautiful sound. The resonance is the intrinsic motivation. It resonates within the body, the instrument, and we also have that, which is our personal desire to be successful and to learn. And then, of course, my prototype is the violin. I think it really represents teaching well. And then a scale and arpeggio, I said, relates to a mastery learning. And I was originally going to play for you those, but I don't currently have my violin with me. But students are helped to master each learning unit before proceeding to more advanced learning tasks. So with a scale, that is pretty easy. You just play up the scale, then play back down. And when you've mastered that, then you can skip a few notes, which is an arpeggio. And then my last concept, my 16th, is bowing versus plucking. And they're both ways to play the instrument. So I related that to cueing. And cueing gives us hints to encourage behavior or discourage behavior. So depending on the cue, whether you pluck it, it'll make it sound one way. If you bow it, it'll make it sound another way. And so that's my teaching metaphor. I hope you enjoyed it. Have a great day.